Hi everyone, let's make another video about making the sandwich NFC reader project, but this time let's make it even smaller. Let's try to remove the USB, all the headers from the Mini D1 and see if we can shrink it down a little bit more. For this project we need a 3D printed case, a Mini D1. You see, I've chosen the version 3.0 or 4.0 is this one, because it's slimmer than the other one. It's missing all the antenna bit in here. We need a PN532, we need a buzzer, we need an LED, and we need a USB header like this. So what we're gonna do first of all, we have to desolder this USB from here. We have to desolder this I2C header in here. This can stay because you see it's almost the same height as the other components in here. Okay, but this, you see, this is even taller. So removing this, and then we'll see. Okay, so basically if we remove this and this, then we have to power the board somehow. That's where this little board comes in. Okay, so I made the schematic, which is this. I'm not sure if you can see it. Okay, so this is the Mini D1. Like this. And this is the PN532. Like this. So basically, what we have to do, we have the 5 volts in here, and this 5 volts goes two ways, one to the LED and the other one to the 5 volts on this 532 board. Next pin we have ground. The ground goes 3 ways. It goes to the PN532 on the ground pin, it goes to the negative of the buzzer, and it goes to the negative of the LED. Then we have the data pin for the tag reader. The data pins are D2 and D1 from the Mini D1. The D2 pin goes to the SDA pin on the PN532. The D1 pin goes to the SCL pin on the 532. Now, if you want to add the LED and the buzzer, you need the data pin for this as well. So the LED, you see, it has 3 pins. We'll see it under the microscope in a minute. You got 5 volts, you got minus, you got plus, you got minus, and you got data pin. The data pin from the LED goes to D8. Now for the buzzer, the data pin from the buzzer goes to D7. With this we have a working NFC reader, but since we're removing the USB-C, we need to power and also add the data pins in case we need to flash the board. So how we do this? This is where this little board comes in. So this goes like this, and this goes like this. So if you see this little board in here, you see it has 4 pins. V, which is 5 volts, D minus, D plus, and ground. So the V pin we're gonna take it from this little capacitor in here. Okay, this capacitor has 5 volts on this side and it has ground on the other side. So that's for the 5 volts. We're gonna have 5 volts from this capacitor. We're gonna get the ground from the same capacitor the other side. Okay, and then the data pins are from this chip in here, which is the CH340G, I think. Now, if you look at the schematic of this chip, it should be on the screen now. The pins which control the data communication from the USB are pin 5 and pin 6. So pin 5, it's the D plus. So you see this little chip has a dot on this corner in here. This is pin number 1, and you start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pin 5 goes to D plus. Okay, and then the next pin, pin 6, goes to D minus. And with this we have as well communication with USB. Well, easy said and done. Let's take everything out. Let's put the schematic in here so we can see it, and let's start removing the USB. Okay, so what we have to do is remove this. We need to apply a little bit of flux. This will help melting the solder joint, and we need to remove it. Now, this is not the best solder, so setting the air to like 50% and the temperature to about 380 degrees. This way we make sure that we don't burn anything, and we can reuse this connector. Okay, so let's start to hit the connector. Okay, so the connector is out. You see, it's not burned. It can be reused perfectly. Now, we said we're gonna remove this I2C connector as well. So let's do the same. Another way of removing this is hitting the board from the other side. But well, we started this way, so okay, again, connector is still perfect to use. Let's leave it there. Now let's clean up a little bit. Okay, so like we said, we have this capacitor in here, and this capacitor has ground on this side and has plus 5 volts on this side. So this goes to ground of the little USB board, this goes to plus of the little USB board, and then we said pin 5 is D plus. So 1 2 3 4 5. This pin will go to plus of the little USB board, and 6, which is this one here, the next one, this will go to the minus. Okay, now let's see how we're gonna do this. Okay, so we're gonna put this little USB in here, then we're gonna put this in here, and we're gonna put this on top like this. That's what give us plenty space, right? This USB is bigger than anticipated, but yeah. So this will go this way and this will go this way. Okay, I'm gonna stop the video for a second. I'm not gonna bore you with the soldering the cables, but yeah, what we need to do is, let's see, where's the 5 volts in here? Yeah, here, this. The 5 volts from here will have to go to here, ground, and then the D, let's see which one is D1. Yeah, D1 and D2, which is marked SCL SDA, will go to SDA SCL on this board in here. Okay, after doing these connections, I'll show you how it's finished. So this is the cable already cut. You see, we don't need a lot of length, even this might be too big. The cable I'm gonna use is a wire gauge 28. This is a brilliant cable. Look how flexible it is. I'm gonna leave a link in the description for this cable, but it's absolutely brilliant. Let me solder the cables and we'll have a look in a minute. Now, to prepare the wire, you first have to remove a little bit of this shield, then using a little bit of paste, lowering the speed of the iron to 280, and just with a little bit of solder, let's have a look. Okay, now we can cut this. Now we can cut the other side and do the next one. Okay, let's see, where's the, okay, there's some white crap in it. Okay, let's do the other side. Okay, let's cut it. Okay, so to prep the cable, we just cut a little bit from each end. A little bit of flux. Lower the temperature to about 280 on the solder iron if you can, so you don't melt, you don't overheat the cable and melt the plastic. This is one. This is two. And the last one. Okay. Okay, perfect. Now to solder the cables, we said 5 volts. We're gonna take the red wire, so we're gonna, these boards are gonna stay like this, right? Okay, so we're gonna take the wire, we're gonna put it through this hole in here, the red one. A little bit of flux. Okay, this is good. Now the black one for the ground. Okay, now we said SDA, we're gonna do it yellow, which is this one. Okay, and the last one, SDA. This is marked SDA. We've done it yellow. And the SCL, which is the next one, we're gonna do it with the green wire. Okay, now let's clean a little bit. So this is how it looks. I think it's pretty good, right? If it's too big, you can just cut it like this. Okay, so with this, we already, well, we still have to solder it on this side, but we have already the board. I'm gonna do it like this, right? like this. Okay, perfect. This goes like this. Okay, so okay, so we have all soldered. You see, the red V bus, which is the 5 volts, goes into the VCC pin in here. The ground pin, which is the black one, goes to the ground. SDA pin, which is the yellow one, goes to the SDA pin in here. SCL, which is the green one, goes to the SCL in here. Now, this would go something like this, and this would go something like this on top, okay? The cables can go under like this. Okay, this is beautiful. Now, we still have to connect this, but before we do this, let's do the LEDs. So if this goes in here, we're gonna put the LED and the buzzer, and this goes in here. Let's see, we can put the LED maybe in here. No, we can put the LED in here, and we can put the buzzer in here, right? Okay, so we said for the LED we have 3 pins, right? Now, if you look at it, you have an arrow. It shows you the current flow. You have 5 volts in here. You have 5 volts in here as well. You have DIN pin, data pin, ground, ground. So where do you connect? You connect from here because the current flows this way. Now this, like this, okay? So we connect the 5 volts in here, right? We connect the D7 from the Mini D1 in here, and we connect the ground pin in here. On the SMD buzzer, you say you have one corner which says plus. This would be the minus one, okay? Plus, minus. We connect the plus to the D7 on the Mini D1, and we connect the minus to the ground. Okay, so let's clean a little bit. Okay, so this is what we have so far. So this would go something like this, we said, and then this would go something like this. Or I can put it this way, doesn't matter. Okay. Like this. And then we have the LED and the buzzer in here. Now, for the LED, instead of joining the VCC from here or from the Mini D1 and the ground, if you look at this board in here, it has another row of pins on this side in here. The VCC from this side in here, the VCC from here is in contact with this one here, is continuity, and the ground from here. So I took it from here, and this goes to the plus, goes to the LED plus, the minus goes to the LED minus, and then the DIN pin from the LED goes to the D8 on the Mini D1, and then the LED, the ground from the LED, I took it from the ground from the LED, the ground for the buzzer, I took it from the ground from the LED, and the data pin, which I think is too long, I'm gonna cut it, it goes to the D7. Okay, so let's solder the pins on the USB controller. We said pin 5 is D plus. D plus, let's use green. Which one is pin 5? Let's see. You see the little dot in here? This is pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one in here. And we said this one is green. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this one. Okay, but this is too big. Let me cut it a little bit more. Let's make sure we have the right pin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. This is pin 5. Now pin 6, let's use yellow. And this is D minus. Wait, I don't like this much. Let's see what's wrong with it. No. Okay. Now plus. So we sold the D plus green to pin 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. we solder the minus to pin 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now we're going to take the plus and the minus from here. One of the side of this capacitor is the plus, one is the minus. Let's find the minus first. So if we put the probe of the multimeter in here, this is the plus. No, this is the minus, and this is the plus, right? Okay, so the plus in here, minus in here, right? Okay, this is way too big. Okay. So we set the plus on this side, right? Let's put a little bit of okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, too big. Let's cut a little bit more. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so we have the plus. Let's do now the negative one, which was on the other side of this capacitor. Okay, so okay, so now we have all solder. We have the USB connector soldered, we have the board, and we have the LED and the buzzer. Now give me a minute, let me try to sandwich it all together, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so this is the best way I could find. I first stuck the Mini D1 with a little bit of hot glue so it doesn't move. Then the USB connector as well, stuck with the super glue so it doesn't move. Then on the corner in here I stuck the mini buzzer so it doesn't move. Now this goes like this, the cable's out like this. Now we push the cable down. Now we have the LED in here, right? This is it. Okay, the board is running. It's not gonna do anything because we still have to flash the board. Okay, let me flash the board, and we'll see in a minute what happened. So we have the cable connected. Let's go to ESP home and let's try to flash this one. Okay, it's installed. Now if we go and connect to it, let's see. If it doesn't show under the networks, just reset the board or unplug it and plug it back. The board will try to connect to the Wi-Fi, but because we haven't specified in here the Wi-Fi name and the Wi-Fi key, after a certain time, which is 30 seconds in this case, it will turn itself into a router mode so that we can connect to it. Let's see when it's coming on. Okay, so here we have it. Let's forget this one because I had it connected before, so you can see the whole process. Your tag will show in here with the name of the project. So connect to it. It will ask you for a password. The password is this one in here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 in our case. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Click OK, and now it's connected. If we check, we are now connected on this. Automatically you will come up with this menu. In case if it doesn't, you can always go to 192.168.4.1 and you will bring up the same menu. You see, now select your Wi-Fi from the Wi-Fi list and just put the key. Click save. Now the board will try to connect. You see, it's already working. Now what's left to do is try to glue back everything in the case. I'll pause the video for now and I'll come back in a minute. Okay, so we have it all installed. You see, I glued the Mini D1 on the corner in there. I glued the USB-C in here. Then I glued the LED on this side in here, which is matches with the LED cutout in here. and the buzzer is in here facing down where this little hole is. Now all we have to do is put this on top of it like this, and that's it. Let me close it. Okay, so it's all back together.
Alarm is set to armed away. Please exit and close the doors. The alarm has been disarmed.
I hope you like the video. If you do like it, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Goodbye.